As Katie said, I'm going to present about residence pattern and population size assessment for the short-beaked common dolphin, Delphinus delphis, in Dilek Yarimadasi, Aegean Sea. But first, I'm going to start with a short introduction about this species in the Med. In the Mediterranean Sea, these species were very common. You can find it in neritic or pelagic waters. Also, they present high site fidelity. But due to different causes, the population start to decline. And these causes may be for overexploitation of the food resources, marine traffic, even a virus that affects this population in the 93, it called morbili virus. Sorry. Because of this, in the 2012, the IUCN Red List categorized this population, the Mediterranean population, as an endangered species. This helped to raise, to gather a lot of scientists and create a lot of work in this species, which we have a high research effort. But this research effort has been concentrated on the west side of the Mediterranean Sea, leaving a gap to the east part. Now, moving forward to my area of the research, in the Aegean Sea, we have that most of the study has been concentrated on the north, as we can see here, leaving not a huge gap, but we have still missing information in the central and the south part of the Aegean Sea. Now, this is why the purpose of the study is to gather a baseline database for common dolphins for the Dilek Peninsula. This will contribute to the existing data of the Aegean Sea by gathering this vital information, therefore identifying the key habitats of the species to highlight priority zones for this species. I'm going to move to the methodology. As you can see here in the map, Dilek Peninsula is a part of Turkey inside the Aegean Sea. As you can see here, is in between the line of the central and the south part of the Aegean Sea. This green area is the research area that I've been studying. For the data collection was gathered during summer and autumn 2019, summer, autumn, and winter 2020. It was used a 19-meter wooden motorboat, navigating with a speed of 4 knots. And for determine each group, I use a 100-meter radius chain rule. Also, for taking the pictures, I use a Canon 7D camera equipped with 75 to 300 millimeters lens. Now, because I'm going to, I use photos, I use the Discovery software. And for this, I use the Ingram 2000 criteria. With this, you have to categorize each photograph with a quality, and then to move to the distinctiveness, and then move to matching. This for each and every single photograph I had. And due to the small number of recitants of common dolphins, the expected analysis changed to a descriptive statistic. Now, moving forward to the results and discussion, I'm going to start with the survey effort. I had 8 days of survey effort during these 2 years. And when the whole team gathered, 20 groups cited, and it was 418 kilometers surveyed. This survey effort just provides a snapshot of the data, but we still need to increase the survey effort with a high number of following hours and to increase the spatial coverage. Now, with the group size, we have that the encounter number ranged from 2 to 60 in each season. Also, the group size was relatively low, ranging from 2 to 12 individuals. But we also have that during winter, it was really high than expected. And this raised a question in my head, like, is there a high presence in this area? Keeping this in mind, if I go and look into what Nota Bartolo said in the 1993, it will raise some potential concerns about the aggregation that I have found, because he established that for the Mediterranean, you can find between 50 to 70 individuals in the whole Med. But the last 3 years in the agency, there has not been recorded more than 25 individuals. So now moving with the subadult present, and it was categorized and determined in 7 out of 20 groups. This will give me the 65% of the whole group you can find subadult. And calves are seen more frequently on coastal waters than group without calves. This is already established for the whole species. So, but we have that in this research is also the same way. As you can find here in the coastal line groups, and we found them up to 200 meters depth. I have to add that the bathymetry of Dilek Peninsula goes up to 200 meters within 2 kilometers. So it's a really short line, it's a really short distance, sorry, and it is still ranging into coastal waters. Also, it's been said that groups with a higher expression of calls are significantly higher during the summer months. But this is not the case for my research, because the higher detection was during autumn for both years, but also if you can see here, during winter, I have up to 4. This may suggest the Dilek Peninsula as a potential nursery ground. If we also follow what it has already established last year for the southern area of Portugal, they said that they had high presence of subadults, up to 72% of the total number of sightings got subadult presence. Therefore, they categorize that area as a nursery ground. Also, it could be the same situation as in Dilek, but we have to take into consideration that variation in group size, calf presence, and seasonality are not to be related to the activity of prey availability, habitat preference, and predator presence. About the behavior, I have to first introduce you that Marco Glu, he established that the presence of common dolphins at the Aegean Sea are related to sardine presence. Here we have the Dilek Peninsula in this area, and we have here the Dodecanese, and from the Kudasasi to the north, we have 2 preferential areas for sardine presence. And as we have here already stated, that is our common dolphins are related to it. For the study, I have traveling was registered as the most common behavior, as you can see here, also by each year and by each season. We consider that the type of behavior each group is engaged in will influence the selection of the habitats, and considering traveling as a movement when the dolphin is moving from one feeding ground to another one, or for chasing a prey, we can say that Dilek Peninsula may be a foraging area. About the photo identification, I had 3,558 photographs to analyze, but 5% of them were analyzed for photo ID. This based on what I told you before, according to the methodology made by Ingram. From these 5%, I managed to create a photo catalog of 40 distinctive individuals, which 37 of them were cited just once, either in 2019 or 2020. But only 3 individuals were cited for the second time. About these resightings, the first resighting was of one individual during summer, and the next sighting of this individual was during autumn for 2019. This was near coastline. For the other 2 individuals, they were from the same group, so both of them were seen during winter in this spot, and during autumn a little bit lower. Now, in order to determine residency patterns and site fidelity, a larger data set of resighting is needed. But if we consider that high number of individuals are visitors or transitioned, plus the high recording of traveling behavior, this will give us a corridor for movement. There's a lot of places in the Mediterranean that are considered as biological corridors. For saying the Azov Strait, Istanbul Strait, or Montenegro. But these are linked with foraging ecology, and this will indicate a flexible diet, demonstrated that in the Aegean Sea, anchovies and sardines are the key prey for the species. So, and with this, it may suggest as well that the Dilek Peninsula might be a biological corridor. And I want to conclude my presentation that my study provides the identification of 40 distinctive individuals, a high number of group encounters, and elevated traveling behavior. Also, Dilek Peninsula may function as a nursery ground, a foraging area, or a biological corridor. But I have to say, this study is too young to make a stronger conclusion, as the high number of transitions may also be due to changes in environmental or biological conditions. But this will lead me to the future considerations, as the research the effects of environmental changes on common dolphins distribution at Dilek Yarimadasi. This will help us to determine if there are residency patterns in foraging areas. This with focusing conservation and management measures to put in place for the endangered short-beaked common dolphin. And I don't want to finish my presentation without thanking my supervisors, Alien team, and also thank you team from Turkey and Montenegro, without whom this project wouldn't have taken place. Also family and friends with the constant support, and obviously for Embassy for the opportunity to make my master's thesis here in Europe. Thank you for listening.
Thanks very much,